Can I have the? Do you have the country of origin? It feels like the
United
spelling.
Can I
Kingdom.
phone a friend?
It feels like the spelling bee. They're having a. Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Hello, everybody, once again, and welcome back to Learn English with Teachify.
Yay!
Mickey, how are you? How's life?
Life is good. Well, yeah, it's good. But I don't know if you remember, but last week or the week before, I can't remember, we were talking about being sick or being poorly, as I like to say, because I'm a little kid, according to Will. And I said that I never normally get sick. Well, this week, funnily enough, I've been sick. Not too bad, just a
Oh,
little bit of a cold, which I think is going away now. No, there's a phrasal verb for that, isn't there? It's what is it when you're? Do we
You
know this?
are you getting over it?
That's the one. I'm getting over the cold at the moment, but it's fine. It's not been too bad. It's not stopped me from working or a little bit less exercise than usual. But yeah, apart from that, very good. I don't like to complain too much. My name is not William. I just like to crack on and get things done. What about you, Lewis? How are you?
I'm not too bad actually either. Yeah, I've had a little bit of a cough after going to Seville and being there for the spring fair. So I had a really fun time. It's really good. If those of you who are listening or watching this don't know what the Seville April Fair is, basically they take a part of the city and they have lots of big marquees or tents, and then everybody dresses up. So the men tend to wear a full suit with a tie and everything, and
Let's
the
start with a
women
full
wear
suit.
a full suit. And then, of course, as the hours go by and people are drinking and eating and dancing and sweating, then maybe you can loosen up a little bit. And at the same time, the women wear a really beautiful traditional dress, which is called a flamenca dress, which is very colorful, sometimes with polka dots, these big, basically circles. And they wear a flower on top of their head. And in my opinion, it makes everybody look fantastic. Both the men dressed up in suits and the women in the traditional dresses. So yeah, last week I went there. I had a great time. But now I'm back to the routine. I'm back in Brussels. I'm on a diet, and I did a half marathon on Monday. Just,
Oh damn!
you know, just for the fun of it. Why not?
Just squeeze that in there, didn't you?
No, no, I thought I'd just mention that because it's a perfect way for me to ask Will what he's been doing recently. Because Will, how are you? How's life? And have you started doing something new recently?
Well, I'm glad you asked, Lewis, because I am now officially a runner. Okay.
Yeah.
I know. After slating it and calling, bad mouthing all of it and saying it's stupid, it's ridiculous, I have actually started doing so I can confirm what I was saying was true. It's a stupid sport. It's terrible. I hate it. But yeah, I went for one run last week, and then
Mm-hmm.
I've run, sorry, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday this week. Just trying to trying to get over that first hill of where it's unbearable and horrible. Uh,
Uh-huh.
and yesterday, for example, it was all right. The past couple of days have been okay. So today I'm resting, but yeah, I've started to run.
Why did you start all of a sudden? Why the change of heart, Will? Because you've always been dead against running, and you've always laughed at Lewis and myself for enjoying running, and now
It's
all of a sudden,
well, I will continue to laugh at you for enjoying it because it's horrible. It's awful. My mind hasn't changed. I just know that I had a birthday at the weekend, and with a birthday comes the realization that you are 1 year closer to,
Death.
in my case, the 40, the 40.
Okay.
Oh,
So I
sorry.
Yeah.
well,
Sorry. Yeah, that one.
that's the one. So I thought, I need to take care of the heart, and so here I am. I'm just gymming in the morning and
So it's
running.
nothing to do with your partner encouraging you to go running or anything, no?
Nope.
Okay. Well, in that case, we'll change topic, Lewis. What we're doing
No,
today.
no, that's interesting. That's all I wanted to know was the reasons why Will had started running after slating us, as he said, for criticizing us for running and enjoying running. But yeah, as you mentioned, he's had a change of heart. He's changed his mind and he has taken up running. He has started to run. And good on you. Good for you. And before I started recording, you didn't use the word heart to speak about your heart. You used a different term. Will, do you remember what word
I
you
do.
used?
I used a word, but I have to say it's not the most common, but it makes me laugh. I called it the ticker, okay, because it ticks, okay, and it's more or less the clock of your life. And when it stops ticking, then there's a problem.
Okay, now we're speaking about death.
Thank God for that. That's exactly what I wanted to talk about today.
Finally.
Bringing up the
But no,
reason I started working, the running. I was thinking, well, the reason is, because the ticker, I don't want it to stop and I want it to be strong. So I've got the old Fitbit monitoring exactly how many times it's ticking.
make sure it keeps ticking. So yeah, for those of you who might have got lost in that explanation, in English, a very advanced way of speaking about your heart is your ticker because it ticks like a clock. But we're not here to speak about running again or turning 40 or impending death. No, 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 no. We have a fun, useful, grammar-related topic this week, and it's all related to irregular verbs. Ooh. And I know what you're thinking, Lewis. We studied this at school. We learned songs about irregular verbs, but despite that, people still seem to make a lot of mistakes with some of the more advanced irregular verbs.
Including myself.
Including Mickey, of course.
Disclaimer.
So before we get into some conversation related to irregular verbs, I'm going to do a little bit of a test for you. I'm going to say the verb, and then I want you to tell me the conjugations in the past simple and the past participle. All right. Mickey, shall I start with you?
Yeah, I'll go on then.
I'll start with a really easy one. Don't worry. Teach.
Okay, teach, taught, and taught.
Hey, perfect.
Oh,
That
good
was
pronunciation
easy.
as well. Pronouncing the T at the end.
I know, I used
Well
to be a
done,
teacher.
well
I don't know
done.
if you know, but I used to teach.
Yeah,
A long time
Will,
ago.
over to you. Choose.
Ooh, this one is okay. Sounds okay. Choose, chose, chosen. Ding, ding, ding.
Bravo, bravo. Ding, ding, ding. Let's do a couple more.
Let's do loads
Mickey,
more.
I know you like cars. So how about drive?
Drive, drove, driven.
Okay, now, Will, your turn. Some people confuse fall and feel. So, two for the price of one. Will, what are the conjugations of feel and then fall?
Can I have the? Do you have the country of origin? It feels like the
United
spelling.
Can I
Kingdom.
phone a friend?
It feels like the spelling bee they're having a. Can you use it in a sentence, please?
Which, by the way,
Right.
is a great tip. It's not just to learn the irregular verbs in isolation, but to learn them in context. So that's a very good tip, actually, Will.
I mean, yeah, it was. Okay, feel, as in to feel with sentimental feelings.
Here we
Feel,
go again.
feel, and in the past, felt, and then in the past participle, I have felt.
Well done. And then moving on to fall, because some people mix these two up.
They do, and I hate it. Hate these people. Fall, fell, no T, all right, fell, and then I have fallen.
Bravo, bravo. Let's do one more, my favorite, before moving on to the conversation. Mickey, let it go, let it go. What about the verb freeze?
Oh, right. I was thinking, where is the correlation
Are you
between let it
connecting
go?
the dots now?
Freeze. So the past would be frozen, and the past froze. Perdón. Sorry.
Mickey, could you just repeat what you were saying there?
Yes, I will.
So the main verb is to freeze.
Freeze, and the past would be froze, and the past participle would be frozen. Sorry, I got a little bit confused.
So Mickey wasn't lying when he said that he made mistakes with irregular verbs, and that's an important thing, that sometimes native speakers also make mistakes when speaking English. But it's fine, just laugh it off and continue.
Yeah.
Sorry, Lewis, I feel it's unfair that no one's given you an opportunity to compete in this. So if it's all right, I would maybe just throw a verb for you. That's the one. That's forbid.
So forbid, like to prohibit, to ban something, is forbid, forbade, and forbidden.
You're too good, Lewis.
He knows this stuff.
I can breathe a sigh of relief now.
Have you watched The Big Bang Theory?
Yes, but
I haven't. I've seen parts
random
of it.
Episodes, yeah.
Yeah, same. But I remember seeing one episode, and they're all geniuses. And then there's one episode where they're all speaking, and one of them goes, "No, because he forbade, and they're all looking at each other, going, forbid it."
Yeah, I've seen that one. Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out. So this is a common one that even native people don't really know. So for this reason, I thought, but forbade, yeah.
But it's funny. It's funny that I was thinking about, because even my mum, for example, like with the verb eat. So Lewis, the past would be eat, and then the past.
What did you say? Could you just repeat that?
Yeah, what would the past of eat be?
It would be ate. So
and then will
eat, ate, and will.
Eaten.
Eaten. But I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of native English people, I think it's more of a southern thing. But my mum, for example, she would be like, I ate that yesterday, instead of saying I ate that yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm familiar with that too.
Yeah. Do you say that where you're from, Lewis?
Personally, I don't, but it's not uncommon for some people to say, I ate it. I ate it.
I bet, yeah. Anyway.
I think that's a perfect way for us to get started with some conversation questions. We've got a few, all of them using irregular verbs. Will, let me ask you a question. Speaking about eating, what's the best meal you have ever eaten?
I'm glad you asked that, Lewis.
It's a difficult one, that.
It is.
I'm sorry, you're not asking me. Sorry, I was just thinking about it.
Do you know what? I've got two answers. Okay. One of them is I went to a nice restaurant. It's not like crazy nice, but a nice restaurant in Madrid. And I can't remember the name of it actually, but it was all like typical Basque food. And there was like 8 dishes, etc. And all of the food was amazing. So I would say this is kind of maybe in terms of taste was this. But the most satisfying meal I ever had was probably when we went to that Brazilian restaurant and they more or less asked us to stop eating because we just continued. And that was the one, because I hadn't eaten all day. I think I was still a little bit recovering from maybe a previous day. And it hit the spot. It was the perfect, the perfect meal in that sense.
Yeah, we did. I remember that meal. We did. We went to town on that meal, which means we gave it everything. We ate as much as we could.
And we did. Yeah,
Yeah, it was good.
that was nice. That yeah. All right. Is that all right? Does that satisfy your
That
question?
that satisfies me. Yeah, if your meal was satisfying, I'm also satisfied at hearing your response. So over
Okay.
to
All
you.
right. All right. Let me let's see if Mickey's good at satisfying. So guys, we're doing a podcast here, guys. All right.
We can save the jokes for after.
Yeah. So
Oh no.
Will, whenever you're ready.
Mickey, have you ever ridden an animal?
By the way, if you're just listening to this right now, Will is in stitches. He's pissing himself. He's cracking up. He can't stop laughing. It was very difficult for him to ask that question. And then Mickey's immediate response was to fall back on his chair and start laughing as well. And I think Will is just composing himself, and he's wiping away the tears. Tears of joy, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you for the narration, Lewis, because I think we wouldn't have been able to. There would have been a moment of silence during the podcast.
Don't worry, I'm here for you.
Have I ever ridden an animal? I have. I've actually ridden two animals.
How long is focused?
Not included. Not okay, I've ridden an elephant and a camel. The two animals that I've ridden. One was in Morocco.
Not a horse?
Oh no, three. I've ridden a horse. Yeah, I don't. Do you know what? I'm scared of horses. They're scary, like to look at. They're beautiful, but to be on top of, I find them very scary because of the potential power that they have. The same as elephants and camels, but I felt very nervous on top of a horse. But on top of the elephant and the camel, I was quite cool and relaxed, no problem. But the horse, yeah, was quite scary. Yes, I've ridden three different animals.
Okay,
You've never ridden a donkey?
No, I don't think so. No.
Maybe as a little kid.
I assume
I think I have on the beach.
Party. Yeah, the beach or something like that. Yeah, or at a fair or something like that. I assume I have, but I don't remember, to be honest.
Nice. I will continue with another question, which will go to, who's this going to? Is it going to you, Lewis, or to Will?
Yeah, why not? Send it over to me.
To Lewis, yeah? Let's do, when was the last time you overcame a personal challenge? To overcome something.
Yeah. It's difficult to say exactly the last time that I overcame a personal challenge. We can also use the phrasal verb to get over a personal challenge, like we used it with an illness or a sickness earlier. If you overcome it, you recover. You overcome from that thing. But yeah, the last time, I've mentioned previously doing a marathon, and that is a personal challenge in itself, which is both physical and mental. And the way in which I overcame that challenge was just by being disciplined, by training as much as I could to make sure that I would be fit enough to complete the race. And the same thing with running applies to learning a language. You need to be disciplined in order to have a routine, to know that you're going to train the minimum in order to make progress, to be able to, in the case of languages, pass the exam, do that presentation, have that job interview. Whereas with running, it is completing that race in a time that satisfies you. Other than that, it's hard to think of any challenges that I've kind of done.
Yeah, it's quite a difficult one, isn't it, this question?
Yeah. I'm racking my brains. I'm trying to think, but I haven't really done any recent challenges except running.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think we tend to think of it as having to be a big challenge or a big obstacle, but it could be anything, because even a small challenge could be a massive mountain for anyone, you know? So it could be, Lewis, I don't know, maybe waking up in the morning and doing your bed, making your bed.
Yeah. I, I don't make my bed ever, as you know. So I did not overcome that challenge.
By the way, this is an opportunity to teach a phrasal verb because previously I was using my AirPods and then I just heard a noise which was like doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, which means that my headphones, my earphones have run out of battery. The battery has all been used. So yeah.
For me, I feel the audio is better without the AirPods.
I was just thinking that as soon as you put those pods back in the case, the sound quality improved. Interesting.
Oh, well, now we know it for next time. Anyway, my question, Will, this is going to you. So, can you describe a time when you froze in an awkward or scary situation?
Oof, to freeze. Okay, yeah, okay. It's not exactly to freeze, but more. Yeah, okay. Unfortunately, I hate to bring this up. A couple of weeks ago, had a meeting.
It's all coming out now.
Had a meeting in Spanish with Mickey, and I more or less, I didn't freeze, but my mind went blank and I couldn't speak Spanish because as soon as we started the meeting, we started talking, and one of the people asked me a question, and I just saw the same face Mickey's making now was the face that I could see in the corner, which made me want to laugh. And then I didn't freeze, but I couldn't. I knew that because I knew that Mickey was going to be laughing at me as I was speaking Spanish. And so my Spanish just got worse and worse, and I crumbled, and I was trying to explain something, but all I could see was Mickey just doing this. And so I didn't freeze, but my mind definitely went blank. And it was definitely, for me, an awkward and embarrassing moment. But I have to say, I've never frozen, I don't think, like not being able to do anything. I, power through,
Yeah, it was fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. It was probably, it made my whole month seeing you squirm like that. And it just got worse and worse and worse.
Oh, yeah.
It was amazing to see.
It's pretty bad. Yeah. I had a little cry after that. That's fine. That's
Here we are speaking about feelings again, but it's fine because I wasn't there. I didn't witness it in person. But as soon as it happened after, in the group chat that we have, Mickey started making some little jokes about it. And then when we met up again, we were speaking about it for like half an hour, or at least I was listening to them two speaking about it for like half an hour. And this was a couple of weeks ago, and we're still speaking about it now. So the time that Will froze speaking Spanish will forever be remembered.
I think so. Yeah.
It was definitely a difficult moment. One I wish to forget, but will never. Okay, so let me just choose another question for Mickey. Let's see what we've got. Okay, we already know what animals you've ridden. Some of them. We already. So you've traveled the world, which is related, I suppose, as well. You've traveled the world. How often? It's a very strange question, but how often have you worn a traditional clothing from that country? Or
yeah, do you know what? I saw this question because obviously Lewis provided the questions before, and I was thinking about this, and I don't think I have. Like, I've been to temples, which I think maybe you have as well, Lewis, where you've had to cover up if you've been wearing shorts, like in religious temples in Thailand and in Indonesia. But like traditional clothing, I don't think I have. No, I'm going to say I haven't. I haven't worn any traditional clothing in other countries. What about you guys?
I don't think I have either, really. Like I was mentioning the fair earlier in Seville, and the women wear traditional dresses. And if I was a woman, then I would have worn one of these dresses. But being a man,
have you never been tempted?
Every day. I'm joking. But yeah, being a man, I just wear a suit, which isn't traditional clothing for any country, really. So no, I'm with you. I don't think I've ever worn traditional clothing either. Will, have you?
I guess this counts. I had,
Oktoberfest?
No. It was, I think it was like the Madrid day. This is like my first year in Spain, and my friends took me. I'm not proud of this, because I'm not a fan, but it took me to the bullfighting. And he bought me one of the traditional hats from Madrid. So I wore the traditional hat from Madrid as I went to the bullfighting, which I hated, by the way, but just to know that I did go. Yeah. So
you don't have to be PC here, Will. You can be honest.
All right. It's amazing. It is so cool. Have you? I mean, but we'll talk about that later. No, it was. I think that's the only traditional thing. And I was trying to think when I went to Brazil. I bought a I Love Rio de Janeiro hat. I wore a I Love Brazil T-shirt and a bracelet, and I was wearing that. So I don't think it's traditional, but I embraced it.
Exactly. You embrace the touristy gringo vibe, you know?
The giddy vibe.
Giddy vibe. Perfect. I think that's enough for now. We've been speaking about different things. Of course, using irregular verbs, which are all over the language. We reviewed them earlier. Don't forget forbid, forbade, forbidden, for example. Choose, chose, chosen. And there was the one that Mickey messed up, which was...
I remember.
Go on.
Yeah, you need to, if you make a mistake and you remember it, you need to do it yourself so you can learn it. So it was freeze, froze, frozen. It's what I call an independent learner.
Yeah. Bravo. Hats off. Chapeau.
Well done. You can speak your own language.
Well done. You have graduated to native level after 30 odd years.
Beautiful.
But no, thank you so much for watching or listening. Don't forget to like this video and comment if you have any questions or topics that you would like us to discuss in the future. And if you're on YouTube, of course, don't forget to subscribe. And we'll be back in a couple of weeks with a new episode. And I can't wait. I'm looking forward to recording it again. Maybe by that time, we'll be running marathons.
Who knows?
Who knows?
No.
Maybe not. So thank you so much and have a great day.
Cheers, guys. Bye. Bye.
Ciao.